Welcome to another presentation in this Light Body and DNA Upgrade Summit series. I am so pleased to bring you this beautiful young soul, not a young soul, a young being on our planet, but a very old soul. Merissa Indigo remembers being connected to Gaia as a Lemurian ever since she was a small child. And she is here to share with us a beautiful presentation on the Lightbody Trinity with the emerald ray of Gaia, Sophia, soul and prism rainbow flames of divinity, and our sacred heart gems. So pleased to be with you, Merissa. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Loren, and aloha, everyone. We're so excited to be with you in your presence.
So as we start here, can you share your perception of Lightbody and where we're going and the role of Gaia in this process?
Oh, yes, thank you. It's such an exciting topic. It's so wonderful to get to discuss these amazing topics together. So for me, what I've been exploring and unpacking and discovering is the light body is the extension of our nervous system that is really starting to emanate and reflect and radiate the soul's light once we start to come into more of a unified heart. And so this is just a natural part of our evolution. Once we reach a certain light quotient within our being, having more love within, right? It's a daily process, checking in, but it's the next step of this emanation where we are actually beginning to glow. And there are so many words for this process. You know, sometimes we're mentioning the shining ones, you know, the children of the sun, right? And so there's this crossover that begins to happen where you do see people starting to glow more as we're growing more crystalline from the inside out.
That is so beautiful. Is this process happening whether we are consciously focused on it? Like if someone is just going along in life and in love with life, I think that you said the key component is love, self. And so if we just move into that place of loving everything around us, would you say that this is something that happens naturally?
I would say it's definitely a very natural and organic process, and we can impact it by the openness of our heart, you know, the heart and really self-love, graciousness, you know, humility, gratitude being the portals of entry. And so the words we've always received is, you know, new earth and the crystalline connection is going to happen through the heart as a bridge. And we can expedite the process as much as is aligned for us by continuing to go into the places where it is difficult to open up, where we have resistance, right? Where we have fear, where we have trepidation, where we have self-judgment perhaps, or repeating the stories of the past. So it's really about allowing ourselves to come into the 0 point crystalline clarity of the now moment, you know, as an emanation of source is sparks of consciousness. So the heart flame, you know, allowing that love light to continue to align us and purify us. And that's how, in my experience, we can really align even more with this process, and it could be expedited versus someone who's not doing any conscious effort, right? A little bit different process.
As we do this, as we open our hearts, how does that change our DNA?
Wonderful. Well, boy, that is such a wonderful topic and so exciting to discuss, because that starts to open up the portal of access to our own individual Akash, the crystalline light libraries that each of us is, a walking, talking, breathing, living library of light, right? A codex of information of the ancestry through every lifetime here on the planet and beyond, right? Going into star family, going into first separation from source, maybe billions of years ago, you know, maybe trillions of years. And so coming into that love light allows us to become more receptive, the art of receptivity, the art of the sacred ask of the questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What are my gifts? And starting to access more of that information, because it's all held within. But it's up to us to unlock, you know.
Yes, it's up to us to unlock. And so would you say that the path to unlocking it is to simply, as you said, look at all of that which keeps us from love, all of the triggers, all of the density? And do you have a way that you personally overcome, transcend any of the lower energies that don't feel so good, that are the triggers for you? What do you do?
Yes, that's great. Thank you for that lovely question. Yes, so these are very real experiences, and essentially, there's a shift that begins to happen where our light quotient is maybe even just 0.5% more, and it becomes a little bit easier for us to choose love over fear consciously in each moment. You can feel where you are, and we can determine our emotional state by our thoughts, because thought precedes emotion. So then you can see, oh, am I thinking, referencing the past right now, or projecting into the future, or am I in the 0 point clarity of the heart as the mind, perceiving instead of thinking, right? And so in each moment, there is the opportunity to choose, to see where we're coming from and reassess our coordinate point in our consciousness, and then rebuild from that. So there can be a lot of those tower moments. It could feel like, tower moments, and then rebuilding your kingdom, your temple, from the inside out. And a lot of it is surrendering that, releasing this judgment of the experience that we are making a mistake. For me, one of the biggest ones was, oh my gosh, are you serious? I'm here again. I'm here at this program again. And I would have so much criticism and judgment around it until I started to really embody the journey as more of a spiraling process. And there's almost this diamond drill bit where the light is pouring through, and it's drilling deeper and deeper into these ancient annals within us, where these programs are locked, where the density is locked, right? These distortions, these separations. And so that's where the self-love piece comes in, and that faith and trust factor, walking with source. And it becomes a shift where we start to see how everything is for us. Everything is through us. There is a divine time. We may not be consciously aware of it, and it can be frustrating, and it can feel like it's taking forever at certain points. And one of the codes that came through more recently, just this week, is that of the chrysalis phase. That we have many of these chrysalis phases where the light body, the body itself, is going through a lot of upgrades because we had a massive expansion of light. And now the body has to catch up, right? The DNA, the cellular rewriting has to catch up. And we could feel just completely melted and flat. And I call it, the pancake mode, where you have to lay around a lot. And when we have these for extensive periods of time, it can get frustrating to the human that's like, oh my gosh, I have things to do. I'm not being productive. And like, we have to really reframe. And there's this meltdown. And it's almost, if you have the visual of the alchemy, where we are melting down the lead for the gold. And it's just a complete melt. And you have to let go of all definitions, all associations of everything, productivity, everything, and be in this chrysalis where you're basically like in this plasma pool as liquid. And just trusting, allowing the process, and many of us, there are so many cycles where we go through that over and over again, consistently surprised at how long some of them can take when we think we're somewhere on the path. It brings you right back to that humble space of, each day we're starting over. Yeah.
Yes. And so let's talk a little bit about the earth, Gaia, and connecting to Gaia for this process. What do you think is going on there? Is Gaia already ascended and in her light body? And are we just catching up to her? What is your take on what's going on?
Yeah, that's really what I feel, is that she's already there. She's been there, this crystalline star planet. And that's where the trinitized beingness of us and the light body comes in. What I have received is there is first the portal of entry through the heart, and surrendering and working through, being present if we have judgment, and savoring where we are, even if it's bitter, right? Even if it's uncomfortable. So there's this softening that's happening. And then we go out to be out on the planet, out in nature. And then we sit with her, and in that receptive state of don't know mind, that total Buddha mind, that 0 point, being receptive and just asking to be shown, please show me, please teach me. We go out with nature and learn the codes. We remember these very simple, pure codes of beingness with the elementals, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom. All of these realms are here to show us what is actually true. When we go out into nature, it's such a powerful opportunity to connect with the organic crystalline grid architecture that is within us, that we are strengthening that connection, that grid work within ourselves. So the crystalline grids are within and without. And so we go into Gaia to be shown what is actually already here. It's just a matter of connecting in the neurology, through ourselves, through our loving hearts. So Gaia is the prime teacher, the prime example of source consciousness in the physical reality for us to be inspired, for us to be overwhelmed with beauty and light and the form and the growth cycles, these organic cycles, right? And then the elements moving through us. Then we combine that with, okay, my body is made of earth. Oh, Gaia Sophia, Mother Earth gifted me this body. This is in, this form, this physical form is a gift to be here on the planet. And then we start to see, oh, wow, that really connects new notions of the light body along with the Merkaba and the physical body being the temple, the house of the soul. It's very interesting. So then we're seeing the body as the spaceship that allows us to exist in the physical plane, a densification of matter, of soul light into the physical, housed here, being able to breathe and engage and consume food and, and water, all gifted from the planet here and through the senses, each sense of the body. So this is where the body becomes the most important part of landing on New Earth from what we have learned. And this is a major initiation. A wonderful way to connect is through the senses, allowing each sense, the 5 senses, to begin to be a temple, each one, to be a portal of teachings. That is like a really powerful way that we actually start to land on the New Earth frequency, the New Earth dimension. And the reason it's been so powerful for me is for someone who personally went through so much trauma with the body, whether it was illness, all kinds of different manifestations, autoimmune disorders, abuse, all kinds of pain and neglect, and not really liking the body, and realizing that subconsciously, I realized this with the Lightbody Prana Yoga series that we did a few years ago, that there was this judgment of self feeling separate from God by being in a body. And then we learned, oh, actually, the body is the gift of God so that we can interact with this amazing reality and be creators and mold the energy like clay, with so much love and delight. And it brings in the sacred heart of the child, the magical divine child codes, So there's a lot of root chakra healing in the first 3, the original of the physical body, that is happening for us to even have true love for our body, free of judgment, free of, oh, I wish I looked like that, person, or any of that, right? There is so many layers, because this is the most divine gift we have been given first, is the body itself. And it's such a huge initiation. It can be years of uncovering where we have judgment and pain and, oh, I have these flaws. What are flaws, So it's really deep work that I feel that the planet is gifting us to be able to see. And then as we start to embrace the body and have gratitude and love ourselves fully for everything we have been through, love ourselves, forgive ourselves fully for when we were unconscious and the things that we did when we were unconscious. It's very important, right? When we were in the human programs and we didn't know any better, now we do. Can we really judge ourselves through this light that we hold now of what we did not know then? Is that fair? So very deep teachings of unconditional love and compassion and gentleness and healing with Gaia. So me moving into the Pacific Northwest here, I was told you are going there to heal the body, to get more elementally involved in the divine feminine through your own body vehicle and really know what it is to be embodied. And that's been the consistent gift. And as we soften and love the body and give thanks and be conscious of what we are putting in, and being thankful for the beautiful food and the beautiful water and everything that we are gifted to be in the body here, then that starts to open us up to Solaris, because now we're in this crystalline realm. Now we're in this star planet. This is the next thing that came in, is for all of us star seeds who have felt homesick, didn't fit in here, all of this, just such anguish, right? So much suffering, feeling abandoned and left down here. There's this whole new planet actually that is this ascended planet that we can have access to. And the more I spent time with her, the more I photographed, and we're going to go into all of that footage, I realized that, wow, all the flowers are stars. They're all star shaped. the sacred geometry, it's like right there. We just have to have the eyes to see, and the heart open to receive the guidance, like, come over here, check this out, and it's like constantly mind-blowing. All of the fungi and the mosses here they all look like extraterrestrials. And it's fun because it really ties in what I learned when I was working with the Shipibo on a shamanic journey in 2014. I spent months with them in the Amazon jungle, plant medicine ceremonies, to really work through some deep trauma. And the cosmology of the Shipibo people is that every plant came here of its own divine will, its own accord, to starseed the planet to be food and medicine for all beings, except for tobacco. That is their cosmology, that every plant on Gaia is starseeded. And it's like, okay, so if everything here came from elsewhere to work with Gaia, that brings us into the star planet, Tara, Terra Nova, Tara, the star energy of the ascended planet. And then that opens us up into the solar codes, which is a whole other, when we discuss the flames of divinity, the prism flames of divinity. Yeah. So anyway, just to share, like, it's been a big process, and I just love sharing it. And all you have to do is go out and be with Gaia, and just be open and receive and remember so much, because it's all within.
You said so much there that is really quite exquisite, and it illustrates how you are an old soul in a young body. What gives us such inspiration for the future, as more people become aware and recognize what you're speaking about. And so you said that, I used to think nature is the universe in action, but you said it, nature is God. Nature is God. Nature is source energy that is really so beautiful, that is talking to us. And then the next thing that you said that really struck me was this self-love, this love for ourself. That is a light body activator in so many ways. And we can actually see how we can give up on ourselves. We can shrink ourselves down to nothingness when we judge ourselves and criticize ourselves. So to be liberated from that is truly a beautiful experience. And that is what awaits everybody, for us to love everything about us. When you look around at some people who are really confident with who they are, they don't give a rat's ass what they look like, because they're so certain and solid. And that is inspirational, actually. And it's inspirational for all of us. And I find it fascinating because so many light workers are hesitant to be seen, whether it's because we're judging ourselves, we're critical of what we look like. But once we get over that, there's such beauty and expansion in it. So thank you so much for sharing that. And you also speak of the Lightbody Trinity. This is the emerald ray of Gaia, Sophia, solar prism, rainbow flames of divinity, and our sacred heart gems. Let's go over each of those.
Wonderful. So the Sophia with Gaia Sophia, a lot of my work is, Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, the Marys, and Sophia. Sophia means wisdom. And when we break apart the words, it's interesting because the codes have always been there right in front of our faces. We weren't at the frequency yet to absorb them and digest them in a way to unlock, until we were ready, until it was time for us. But material, the word matter, mat, that's mother. It's the root for mother. And so that's where Gaia Sophia is the ultimate divine mother in the physical for us, to start to reparent ourselves if necessary, to love ourselves as the holy divine child that is ultimately precious and completely worthy, no matter what mistakes we have made in the past or any stories we have in our timelines about why we're unworthy of this divine love and divine inheritance to be here. So that's the Gaia Sophia piece, and that's why I call her that. She is gifted the emerald ray, the gold ray, for us to work with, to run through our bodies, to nourish ourselves on all levels. And there's Archangel Raphael with that beautiful emerald ray as well. And when we come to the rainbow flames of divinity, how that started was Gaia started gifting a new color to work with. That's this diamond pearlescent plasma milk. So it's like a flowing river, and it has all these colors in it. It's iridescent, like a beautiful seashell, very powerful frequency. So these are very high dimensional frequencies. When we talk about the pearl, it's like, I don't know, like 12, maybe 12D, 13D, I don't know. I don't get lost in the numbers, but it's pre-form. So it's a platinum, it's a diamond water, it's a pearl milk of iridescence, and it is like mother's milk. It's like a sacred, galactic, cosmic, but here on earth, breast milk for us. And we started working with that, creating a braid of light that we would work with the emerald and the gold, and now this pearl milk. Sometimes we'll call it the pearl milk. And when we would go out on Gaia and photograph and get these activations, we would be told, look at the sun right now, take some photos of the sun. And we can't even see what we're doing, you know, because the sun is like shining through the lens. So you're kind of blinded a little bit. And then we look at these photos later, and it was unbelievable. And we're going to share these in the course together. Unbelievable. It looked like almost like a flower petal, like a flame, like when you have a candle flame, you know, and it looks like that beautiful flower petal shape. But in it, so it had this kind of iridescent white outer edge, and then inside of it was the full spectrum rainbow. And I was just mind blown. And this was late June of this year, but transitioning into July, it was a very powerful time for us. We were going into the constellation we were in Cancer, the sign of Cancer, and that's Divine Mother, and it's just so powerful. And I was mind blown, and I heard the rainbow prism, something like that. I'm mixing it up now, and you say it very well. I know it's a mouthful, but it was the rainbow prism flames of divinity. And it's coming, those are the codes coming off the sun. So now we're able to actually, and many of us are photographing and capturing the frequency so that people can see, like, this is real, this is happening in lifetime right now. So when you ask about ascended new earth, I say, yeah, I think it's definitely a thing, and that we're just walking through it now, you know, because we're capturing it in the photos. And so if you imagine yourself, a beautiful activation is to imagine yourself with this beautiful white flame kind of spiraling through you, you know, clockwise from the feet, spiraling up through the whole body, going through the tube torus, up and through us, up and through and out, with a rainbow center. And what that's doing, you know, I mean, oh my. So that's where that trinitized beingness came from, is Gaia shared. Once I started to really feel into the fact that everything is star-seeded here, including ourselves, for us. So we're actually not missing home. There are plants here and animals here from all over the star system along with us. Very interesting. Once I started to realize that and really just have so much relief, I mean, I released a lot of grief about coming here. That's when that trinitized beingness came through. So it's the heart center, and linking that with Gaia Sophia's heart, and linking that with Solaris's heart, the solar heart. And you can even take it beyond, you know, into the grand central sun, and on and on and on and on. It is infinite, but just to start somewhere, we'll make it a trinitized beingness. So we are a solar being, a solar star being here on the planet with the planet. And it's this like infinity loop, this trinity, you know, with us in the middle, receiving the codes coming through us from Solaris, codes coming through us from Gaia, up and down and through and out, up and down and out and through and out constantly. And when we start to get into that, you'll feel really good. No matter what's going on, you will feel connected, strong in your light, to be able to go forward into so much of as the realm shifts continue.
Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful, Merissa. I actually feel that, and it makes so much sense now. We can feel ourselves as the center receiver, but it's not that we're just the center of it. I get now how you say it's through our body. So we're receiving the energy from Gaia and from the sun and our heart, and you call it heart gems. I love that.
So yes, so that's where we get those heart gems, is then we start to more self-discovery. more true self-seeing, because we are finally able to surrender, at least in the moment, right? This is an ongoing process for many of us for a long time. And we have to just be okay with that we are releasing grief, we are releasing shame, we are releasing judgment, we are releasing some of the deepest stuff. And now, is any of it ugly anymore? That's what I would postulate, right? Is any of it ugly anymore, or is it all divine? Because it all leads us here, right? And that's where we keep data. So then the data mining comes through, these words that it's so funny, they use them in tech. And I receive these words, and then I see how tech is actually imitating the light body technology. Yeah.
That is very
data mining, right? So like the phrase data mining, the phrase live stream. I remember hearing Sandra Walter use life stream. And I was just realizing, oh my gosh, so we are bio-solar telepaths. That's from Dr. Jose Arguelles, his work, bio-solar telepaths. Unlocking, and the heart gems are our dormant abilities that are just waiting. And the invitation, like for me lately, I've been spending a lot of time in the garden. It's a beautiful summer, a lot of harvesting, of fruits and vegetables, and working with the earth, and being shown how that's actually terraforming when we're in the garden. We're working with the earth element, we're working with the solar component, which is responsible for the growth cycles. And every fruit and vegetable was a flower first. Most of the time, a 5-pointed star flower, which is Venus, the Venusians. So you see how everything, we could go on and on, everything is star-seeded for us.
so beautiful. Really loving this. And you're actually activating us just by the conversation. Really, really wonderful.
Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Gaia. It's all Gaia.
And you took us through a little bit there of imagining ourselves as the center of that energy. And I would like you, if possible, to take us through a process. Take us through a process where we can come into the 0 point clarity and maybe begin to perceive this Trinity that we're speaking of. Can you do that for us?
I would love to. And actually, as I was preparing for our meeting today, what came through is the memory of an activation I was given. And this is to put yourself into the diamond light. And this is part of the Rainbow Prism Flames of Divinity, is that diamantine, the diamond light body. And so when we're ready, the invitation is we're going to do a little something, and then we're going to close our eyes and go in. So you want to start with your hands a little bit above your crown and have your fingers joined like so. And we're actually going to be tracing a diamond and open the diamond realms. So you're going to be tracing a diamond down, maybe down at your sides, maybe in line with your heart, and then do the lower portion where you connect the hands kind of near the root chakra, near the pelvis. So you're tracing a diamond in front of you, right? So above us and then below. And so essentially the top of it is above the head. The bottom is basically kind of at the root, right? At our genital area, right? So we create that, and then we put our hands through that realm. And then we pull the diamond light from that realm, and we're going to actually baptize ourselves with it, wash that diamond water over us. Oh, and then the invitation now is to close our eyes and to feel this, and we will proceed. So we open the diamond window, the portal into the diamond light. And you can almost imagine like you're diving through, like you're diving into a pool. We're going to dive through that portal in our imagination, our whole body going through that window, that portal that we built. And just breathing and starting to see this beautiful weave, almost like a spider web of diamond light, clockwise, weaving, seeing the tube torus. So it's this circling, spiraling around us, the tube torus from our feet, a little bit below our feet. Bring in that earth star chakra, however many feet you see it below you, and up overhead. So activating this tube torus, and it almost looks like a basket weave of these threads that look like spider webs, but of diamond light. And just breathing and feeling that tube torus flowing around us. flowing clockwise through our being, and calling in that Christed diamond light to just support us in smoothing out any of the wrinkles, if you will, in our day. Any of our worries and concerns, we offer them to God and know that the solution, soul, S-O-U-L, lution, will come. Allowing this to continue to spiral clockwise around our entire beingness, up overhead, up to the soul star chakra. So we are in this tube like a giant straw of a basket weave kind of tapestry of light of diamond strands. Continuing to spiral clockwise and just breathing and allowing it to just support us, to nourish us, to realign. And while we continue to breathe, just having our focus in our heart center at this time, allowing ourselves to feel anything. If there's grief in the heart, anything, excitement, feeling a tickle in the belly, the butterflies, just feeling, just allowing. And now we're going to intend that it goes counterclockwise. So now the flow is going to switch. We're going to go reverse spin and seeing what that does. And just breathing. Calling in the divine harmonic of the diamond light and the diamond light body. And while we continue this reverse spin action here, we feel dizzy, just bringing your attention to your feet. Calling in the rainbow prism flames of divinity, these tongues of flame to spiral through us. And seeing the trillions of cells that we have within our physical body, each one alight with this dancing rainbow flame. And then we're going to reverse the spin again now. So reversing the spin of this tube torus of diamond light weave tapestry. So going back to clockwise, and we're going to allow now, calling forth a cellular full-on purge of the toxicity, density, distortion, fear, any of the grime, any of the goop, spinning out of the cells now, thanks to that purge, that cleanse of the rainbow flames of divinity. Allowing any of that to spin off. So we're like a spinning top, this weave spiraling very quickly, clockwise, spinning, 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 and allowing any of that, any of the patchy gray stuff or dark stuff to just fly off into the grand central sun, where it is transformed into golden neutrinos raining down for all, the benefit of all, purification. And we'll continue now. You can just release the spin and just feel yourself in this kind of fluid plasma tube torus of this diamond light. And the invitation now is to bring your focus into the heart and to begin to see a vertical golden infinity loop or figure 8. The top looping around Solaris, connecting us with the solar logos and cosmic Sophia Christ, bringing down a beautiful honey, amber, ambrosia nectar from God. Looping around like we're lassoing that top loop of that infinity around through the heart of the sun, and drawing that energy down, down, down through the soul star chakra, down over the crown. The center point of the infinity loop is in our heart. And now we're going to send the bottom part of this vertical loop down into the heart core of Mother Earth, of Gaia, Sophia, Terra Nova, Tara, Earth Mother, Ascended Star Planet, 5D, 7D, and above. Bringing in that beautiful emerald plasma and that pearlescent milk and the gold, that mineral gold looking ore from the heart core of Gaia, drawing that up and into the heart. So now we're just going to be looping vertical up and down through the heart and down to the heart core of Gaia, up and into our heart, up and down into the center of the heart of Solaris, down through our heart again, down through the heart of Gaia, up through our heart again, up through the heart of Solaris. And we're just going to run this vertical figure 8, breathing. And it's a slow looping with our heart as the center, activating the trinitized beingness of our star, the heart star, the soul star, the earth star, unifying through our hearts, feeling the heartbeat, radiating this love out to all of creation, feeling our oneness with the songs of love, the universe, the one song, feeling our harmonious nature and our own tone with this, and just breathing, just allowing that to write in. And to seal in the benefits of this practice, which will continue, we invite you to drink a lot of water. We invite you to tone if you feel like singing and toning later on after this practice today. And we say aloud 3 times to seal in, and we invite the installation permanently into our light body architecture, our divine DNA blueprint activating. And so we say aloud 3 times, regrid, click, regrid, click, regrid, click. And maybe not drive for a little while. Everybody. And see what songs come through, because this activates the soul songs of Mu, this kind of stuff.
It is activating memory of Lemuria and just a deep, deep connection to the heart space. So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the feeling of it is absolutely palpable. I encourage everyone to continue running that energy. It's almost like with every heartbeat, it continues. And it's really exquisite.
And just know that this is a permanent part, a permanent installation in your architecture. All you have to do is just remember, tune in to that vertical infinity, connecting us with this Trinity. It is always ever going. Like you said, with every heartbeat, it is organically happening. We just have to remember. Sometimes we can get distracted. It happens.
But what a powerful tool when we do get triggered to just come back to this and to the awareness of this again. It will help us bypass, transcend any trigger or judgment of ourselves and come back to pure love. Very, very cool and exquisite. Yes, I love this so much.
Thank you.
So grateful. We really are. And I wanted to talk a little bit about ways that people can work with you, because as you mentioned, you're going to be doing a webinar, and you also offer mentoring programs, mentoring sessions for people. But in the webinar, you're going to be going over what you see on the planet as great examples for all of us. You send me flowers of photos all the time, and those are activations in themselves.
Yes.
Wow, I get that. And it's probably your energy as well that you're infusing, but it's so full of light, all of this. And so tell us about the course that you're going to offer.
Yes, thank you. So this is going to be a totally new style that we were advised to do. So it's going to be very audio visual. And so I'm going to be sharing a lot of photos of dahlia flowers, sunflowers. We're going to be looking at the growth cycles of the bloom phase, because life is a soul bloom, right? The beautiful diamond path of the soul's bloom, which is infinite. So we're going to be looking at a lot of photography and video that I've actually captured myself. Gaia has told me, come over here, look at this, go there. And then we're going to be installing a lot of these geometries, in ourselves in live time. So it's all an activation. It's going to be a visual activation. We will do, of course, meditations like we did just now, right inside. One of the new processes that we were guided to do in the most recent course with the Lion's Heart was where we are showing you how to live in the expanded state with the eyes open, showing you how to live in that oracle, active, really open, receptive state to see multidimensionally with the eyes open. That's the next phase. That's the next challenge for everybody. So, I remember I did not like that at first. Like, don't make me open my eyes. You're bringing me out of it. Well, now we're going to learn how to hold it. So that's the new precedent that has been told to me to do with everyone, to challenge everyone to hold that state of open, expanded activation with the eyes open, because we're seeing through the heart. So we're going to start to transcend any of those, limiting beliefs that, oh, I can only go deep with my eyes closed, or I can only turn my ego off with my eyes closed. No, we can do more. We can do more. We can. If I can do it, you can do it. So that's part of the process too, is we're going in and then I'm drawing you out, but we're holding it. As within, so without now, right? So that's part of that infinity loop activation. And yeah, that's this, the idea with sharing the visual, the media with you, is to show you how it is all around and to support you in doing the same. Have fun. And I don't have expensive equipment. I would love it. I'm putting it out there. It's on my bucket list. Everything I do is with my phone. So you don't need anything special, really. You just need to have a phone with a camera, and you can capture the activations and share and start to see how everything is an infinite portal. And it can really support us, as we are navigating this very interesting time. And there are still systems that we are a part of as parents, so many things, right? As citizens, there's a lot. So we bring this infinite realm now into the streets, into the 3D, to bring this higher, and activate everyone. So we are now commissioned with the task as the task force, as the ground crew, to carry this out into the public sector, to support the unlocking of everyone and to support the changing of the guard in these institutions, the enlightenment pouring forth through these institutions. So it's all connected.
Wow, it's so beautiful, because it's really important at this time to be able to see multidimensionally, to see with the heart. And I love that you're going to be showing us examples of how we do that, because I really feel there's a great need for it. People really want to know how they can hone their senses to even see it better. And this is in all senses. Yes, we can.
Yes.
We can look out at flowers and see it, but then we can translate that to other things that we see, other things that our mind or our ego, our own judgment may say, that's wrong. We know it's wrong, but can we still find the beauty within it? And I think if we're able to do that, that is going to help transform the experience. It's going to help create the new earth structures even more, because the beauty is all around us. We just have to open our eyes with our hearts to see it. So I love that you're going to be teaching this, because it really is the need of the hour. And I know that many are really eager to learn this and understand it even more. So that's really cool. Thank you. And, the technology, we don't need that expensive equipment anymore. Like a $50,000 television camera. We don't need that anymore. We can have our own YouTube channel with our cell phones.
Yeah.
To me, that is remarkable. And another example of New Earth and the ways that we can each share what it is that we're seeing. We don't need to have the expensive equipment, but good on you when you do go and you get that and you manifest that. Awesome. So wonderful. And so then, as you work more with people in private sessions, tell us what goes on there.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So I call them Quantum Heart Soul Stream sessions. So I show the individual. We do a lot of activation to get into the heart space, so that we're not working from the head and from the ego, because we can't get anywhere. We work with free will, and we work with your divine sovereignty and respecting your field. So this is a co-creative experience where you are held accountable to stay in the heart space while we go very deeply into your fields, into your soul matrix, into your Akash that is all here. So the deeper we go into the heart together, the more we are able to uncover, throughout time. And these are oracle sessions. So it's all through quantum entanglement. There's a whole process to build that frequency of the oracle state together. It is quite a process. And we do it through Zoom together, and you get a recording if you would like to have it recorded, which I always suggest if you're comfortable, because there's a literal deluge of information that comes through. It is just a stream of information. And topics will come up, memories, anything that we're working through right now to add a, a multidimensional perspective to all kinds of things, as real as, I have a spouse who is going through autoimmune. How can we, work through this multidimensionally, or children who are suffering, or financial issues. I mean, it's very real, right? Bringing that quantum perspective to the human experience to divinitize the human experience so that we are taking our power back from any of these situations, and also calling forth these soul, SOUL, solutions. So it's a beautiful interactive process. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do, to really go deeply with people and to show them. And most of the time they're like, I already knew all this. I'm like, I know. We're standing right on top of it. It's right in the field, right in front of our face. But sometimes we need some support. And that's where I'm a guide or a bridge to support you through the heart, to trust what is there.
Again, I love it, because that is for those who are awakening and those who have been doing the work as well, and as we help our families and the ones that we love in our lives, and have them say, well, be in the heart, get in the heart. How? That's like a big question. It's so easy to say that phrase, be in the heart, be heart-centered, but how do you really, when you're looking at something in your life and it's like, how am I going to be in the heart? So I love how you really help people see the divinity in all things, in all experiences. It really is wonderful. And you are a great guide because of your own journey in this, your journey to reclaim that essence within yourself through all the trauma that you've gone through. And again, that's why I say you are an inspiration to so many, all generations, because you've done this deep work, and to see the brilliance and the light shining forward through all of it is really what makes you a great guide. And so thank you for offering this and for facilitating this with everyone. It's tremendous work.
Thank you.
And I do want to say, oh yes, you're very welcome. I do want to say the Lightbody Prana Yoga that you've offered, this would be wonderful to include with the mentoring session.
Oh yeah, we should do it. Absolutely. I mean, that was ahead of its time, and it's because, like I shared, the embodiment process is so deep and can be very emotional, because we have to go through a lot of separation within ourselves, whether it was illness or abuse, physical, any of these things, any of these different things that we signed up to experience, to go really deep. The Lightbody Prana Yoga is very different, and we really shouldn't even call it yoga anymore, because it's really not what you think. It's the atypical, like, oh, I have to be flexible and I have to be strong and all these things. It's about moving energy and working with your third eye and working with color, rays of color and light and breath and the prana of the light body, and stretching and realizing, like, wow, I have this recurring injury in my shoulder, and we're going to go into the metaphysics of that part of the body, that location. And it's about GPS, and it's about looking at your body as a microcosmic version of the planetary body. I mean, it's really special. And that was gifted with Star Family and a lot of, like, Babaji and a lot of the really special yogic masters, Yogananda, these wonderful saints. So for me, yoga was a huge part of the embodiment process. And that's actually how I found the divine again, was through the science of the Vedic wisdom, and Ayurvedic wisdom. And Lightbody Prana, sacred movement is the name Lisa gave me to rephrase it. She said, let's call it Lightbody Prana sacred movement and breath, because that's really what it's about. We do things like drumming and body tapping, like drumming the body. And you start to realize, like, oh my gosh, I was living like just, like literally sphinctered up, like not allowing my energy to flow and to radiate out. We don't even know how big our fields are. I mean, there's a whole thing with this. It's really special.
Beautiful. And I do want to just say, you mentioned Lisa, that is the beautiful teacher, Lisa Transcendence Brown. And she is one of your mentors. And such exquisite wisdom that comes through. So thank you for carrying that information forward as well. Really exquisite work that you're doing, Merissa. And I just love everything that you are and what you're all about, and how you are helping bring people home to the heart in the face of everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Loren. I appreciate you so much. And everyone, I'm so excited for everyone. This is the time we've been waiting for. Lifetimes we have been waiting for this moment. It's very exciting to have the access, the privilege of this wisdom and the light body technology. And we're just beginning. It's a drop in the bucket, really, to what is real, what is possible. So it's a very exciting time.
This is exciting. And so, as we say goodbye, I'd like you to close with some words of inspiration. Our hearts can go heavy. Our hearts can get heavy when we see the collapse of the old world. We can even grieve.
Yeah.
But yet there's something on the other side here. There's something to keep our eye on the prize on. Share that with us, please.
Eye on the prize is right. The prize being the heart, to walk in faith and trust, and to have the courage to speak. Also, this is the time to use our voices, to invite the highest integrity, highest aligned solutions with where things are perceived to be insurmountable, with destruction and chaos. Always calling forth, what more is there for me to see when we feel broken or lost or cut off? Because I understand that feeling very much. I have a lot of really gnarly Pluto in my chart. So there's a lot of that Phoenix energy, right? So we have to remember that when we're down in the swamp, we do have wings, and we can ask for more information to be revealed so that we can go beyond. And how we deal with the most challenging instances is to allow ourselves to feel the emotions that are triggered by the event, what is coming up. A lot of times it's our history, it's our galactic history, it's many times of injustice, persecution, victimization, right, that we have experienced. And so when we are seeing that out there, it is a draw, it is a salve drawing out the poison of the pains of the past for us to see and to hold love and compassion, like, wow, yeah, that happened and that really impacted me. I have love, I have forgiveness. We want to go through the stages, even the stages of grief, very important. And then we have released that, then we can access the deeper information on the other side of the wisdom, the higher dimensional, multidimensional, opening the Akash of the situation. So for instance, what occurred in Maui, any of the fires that we are seeing, right, what they are doing, yes, there is a great deal of destruction and it is horrific. On the flip side of it, it is opening libraries in the Akash in Gaia. It is opening the repositories of the sacred memories of our mystical star lineages with knowledge that has been buried and suppressed. So it's such a powerful, just let yourself pull it all out by the root and look at it and digest it, sit with this medicine. And one of the most powerful phrases that has come through for us in our journey that we love to share is, let your poison be alchemized to medicine. Let your poisons be alchemized to medicine. All of the wounding, all of the stories, the various triggers that we have, the various specialties of our own individualized wounding, the patterns of these are reflected throughout the collective. So for us to own it, and really be open to looking at it through a multidimensional lens, like this crystal that has all of these different facets, keep flipping it, keep looking at it, allow it to draw out all of the suffering and the separation and the victim consciousness, and this is unfair, all of it, let it all come out of you. You want to allow that to come out so that you are emptied again, an emptied vessel again, clear and here in the now, to receive the riches of the teaching, of the wisdom, of the love, what's on the other side. There's always more. Remember, there's always more.
Beautifully said. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Merissa Indigo. You have activated us with beautiful words and a beautiful process today. We are newly inspired and we are feeling the divinity in everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, sweet one.
Thank you. I love you.
We love you. And we love you too, who are watching and listening. And we thank you for your light that you carry on our planet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.